Game two of Lakers vs Warriors, and it was very, very different to the first game. First off, the Warriors won by 27, I want to say, and honestly, the Lakers kind of just shot themselves out of the game, or should I say, the Warriors shot themselves in the game, because from last game to this game, they were so much more efficient. And when the Warriors are efficient, what can you do to stop them? Because they're getting threes at a crazy clip, and unless you're doing the same, uh, you're not going to catch them because they made 50% of their threes today. I know they made the same amount of threes in total from last game, but they shot 52 and they made 21. This time they made 21 out of 42. And just seeing those numbers, 50% from three, you know they had to more three pointers for 2 pointers, and it's that they were more efficient in total. So without just chucking up threes, missing them, letting the Lakers run on transition and get buckets, they were more disciplined with their 3 pointers. Or maybe it's because their main guys were out in the fourth quarter, but yeah, they didn't take as much threes. They were more clinical, and it made it where the Lakers really could not catch up because they were just scoring constantly, getting buckets up the court, and then at that point you can't match them. You can't match them. So the difference between last game and this game, the main difference was that Looney, either fortunately for the Warriors or unfortunately, maybe long term. No, it's just an illness, so it's probably just short term, maybe just this game. He was ruled to have an illness, so he didn't start. He didn't play that many minutes, and because of that, the Warriors majority of the game, almost all the throughout the whole game, was playing a small ball lineup, and that was the Lakers' kryptonite because the Lakers are a big team. They got a lot of big bodies, so I feel like they do well when you kind of match their height, match their play style to a bit. They will get the edge on you because they're amazing defensively. AD AD at the dunker spot, just controlling the paint. Defensively, he's the anchor, just staying there, making sure no one goes for easy layups, nothing like that. But I don't know why it's a small ball lineup. Maybe he was more forced to be out of the paint, forced to close out on 3 pointers, and that really was to me the main difference from last game to this game. Last game they couldn't get nothing in the paint because AD would stay there. LeBron at times would just stay in the paint, and they're that person to shoot a three. But with the small ball lineup, sometimes lineups where all 5 guys can shoot the three. Majority, at least minimum 4 guys shooting the three at all times. The Lakers can't just sag off defensively and just dare them to shoot, because then you're shooting yourself in the foot and they will make those shots. So they had to be more honest with their defense, closing out, and ultimately that means that they were able to get to the paint more easily. I feel like that's the main difference. The Lakers are going to have to scheme up something to get by that, because what worked so well in game one didn't work in game two, and the Warriors will see that, and maybe they'll repeat the stuff they did in game two and game three, and that's where the Lakers gotta change up their mentality, change up their play style on defense, because that's really where they lost this game, is on the defensive end. The Warriors scoring 127 points is hard for any team to match that. So that's what the Lakers will be working on. What the Warriors got to work on is just being so consistent from three. Because when they are consistent from the 3 point line, it's kind of a wraps. Because, yeah, there's no team in the league that's matching their productivity from the three when they're efficient. Klay Thompson, if it's a pin down, if it's just a pull up, a screen pull up, he made his threes today. He made 8 threes today. Had his best game of the series. Well, it's only 2 games, but he kind of wasn't that effective in the first game. But this second game, you felt him. You felt him. Steph Curry was more passive. I think he had 12 assists this game, and that's because they were closing out on him. They did not want Steph Curry to be the reason they won that game. So Klay Thompson stepped up, just a crazy amount of threes, and then that right there, when Klay's having a great game, it's hard for the Warriors to lose, So what they can focus on next game is hoping that Clay is the same amount of efficient, and just like honestly, the whole team just needs to be efficient from three. Force the Lakers to have to go out and close every guy down. Force them to not allow any threes to be shot, and then when the defense is honest and true, they are able to exploit it because Golden State are a team that will spray the ball around. They have a great ball movement. Honestly, one of the best teams I see that's just passing around the floor to find that open guy, and they will keep doing it. If you close down one guy, they'll stop, reset, do it all over again. Dribble, handoff, pick and roll until they can pass it out to an open guy. They just gotta be locked on that, and the open shooter gotta make his shots, because that's a recipe for the Warriors to win. It's an easy recipe for them because they've been doing it for so long. And yeah, if they continue it, the Lakers are not, to me, not going to stand a chance. Make sure to like, subscribe the video, join the community. LeBron has been amazing. He's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. AD, from the crazy first game, 30 points, 22 rebounds, or 23, one of them, to just drop off like that in the next game. What do you have? Yeah, this game he dropped down to 11, 7, and 4. AD needs to be the best player on the floor for the Lakers to win. When he is having a mediocre game, they really don't stand a chance because he's the main guy. He's shown in this playoffs he needs to be the main guy for the Lakers to win. When he's the main guy, when he's providing for his team, the Lakers are kind of unstoppable because defensively his presence is known, and when it's felt offensively too, it's just no one can stop him on both ends. So he just needs to be more aggressive, more assertive, and just be more efficient, because 5 from 11, he didn't even take enough shots personally. He has to make his presence known at the beginning of the game. He has to control the tempo. Everything has to be run through him. He needs to get touches of the ball almost every possession. He just needs to be dominant, basically, because AD is what the Lakers are hoping is consistently dominant, because then they will get by this Warriors team. LeBron needs to keep doing what he's doing. Rui Hachimura, how is he the second high scoring player on the Lakers? He was so efficient, and I don't know why he's not taking more shots. 8 of 14. I'm just watching him play, and he's just pick and roll, pull up. He'll honestly just body his defender, bump him one time, pull up, and it's bucket every time. And a lot of people weren't expecting this from him before the playoffs started, but he's shown from the last years he will do it. So I don't know why they don't lean on him a bit, especially in this game when they were losing majority of the game. That they were in it. It may be like the second half. That's when the game got away from them. They need to lean on him. They need to force him to be aggressive, and yeah, that they want the offense run through him, because he has shown the last series and this series that he could be a spark plug for this team. I just feel like they don't use him enough. He kind of bails them out the end of shot clock. He'll just take the shot. If he gets the ball, he don't see a good player going around him, he will just take it for himself. And they need to find ways to have him be more effective, because he is effective, but I feel like it's just he's kind of just playing his game, and it can't be like that. He needs to be the most aggressive person, because out of everyone, he has been the most consistent Laker since these playoffs, which is surprising. But when you find out that he's effective, abuse him. Why not? He's in the form of his life right now. Get the most out of him while you can, while he's raising his stock. Just use Rui more, because Russell needs to pick it up. Austin Reeves surprisingly needs to pick it up. I'm kind of disappointed how he's been playing, but he's having a lot of responsibility on the defensive end, running around Clay and Curry. So I'll give him that, but he needs to be more clinical, because before the playoffs started, he was the best Laker, and since the playoffs started, he hasn't even been top 4, top 5. That needs to change. But this series is amazing. I'm pretty sure I said that already. I'll say it again. This series is amazing. I legit can't wait for every game to start. I'm happy it's every other day. Don't gotta wait too long to watch these games. And I can't wait till the next. Quickly, 76ers. Don't know why they brought back Joel Embiid the last game, because it was clear that he was not 100%. And when they win the first game with their MVP out, you risk that next game for him to get 100%, for him to get his rest, and hope on that the guys that had a crazy performance game one can replicate it. Because I feel like Harden having his best playoff game in years, to having a stinker the next game can't be a coincidence. A stinker the next game can't be a coincidence. They needed to keep Joel resting and have James Harden try to be the main guy for one more run around to see like how good Philly can be without him, if they really can lean on these guys without him. Because now it's just a one game sample size, and it may be a fluke. Who knows? You don't know now, because you force Joel in the next game and force him to have like the game passed him by. He was very effective defensively. When Mans met him at the paint, he stopped them. Many blocks and stuff, but offensively, that's where you want him to carry the team, and he just couldn't. But when he's out there, the defense of the other team is so different, and James Harden couldn't get used to it, and just Philly crapped the bed. So Joel Embiid most likely will play the next game. This may be a must-win game for the Sixers, because the Celtics, I feel like, are too good for them. The Sixers had a lead and they needed to hold on to it. But now that it's tied again, they don't want to be down in this series. So Philly gonna have to pick it up, and Boston need to do the same thing they're doing these last games. Jason Tatum needs to pick it up a bit, because you can't rely on Jaylen Brown the whole playoffs and rely on Tatum to be not put his best effort forward. He needs to be the best guy on this team. For the most part, they can lean on Jaylen Brown a couple games, but that can't be the norm. So Jason Tatum needs to pick it up, because no, the first game he was amazing, but the second game you can't drop off like that. Luckily they got the win, but they can't rely on that. Denver versus Phoenix. I don't know how Phoenix are gonna do this. Chris Paul not playing. They lost their guy that will control the pace of the game, put guys in spots to be successful, and now they got to do the next 3 games without him. It looks bad for my pick, the Suns, to get through this Denver team that just seems so complete. Without Jamal Murray going crazy the last game, they still put their foot on Phoenix's neck. And without Chris Paul, I can't see it getting better for Phoenix. But who knows? Who knows? We see. And the last game, was it Miami versus Cavs? Miami versus the Knicks. My team to get through this round. It feels like it's been so long since they played. They don't even play today. They play tomorrow. Jimmy will be back the next game. Hopefully it's going to be the first game where it's both teams are at full strength, minusing Tyler Hero because he's not going to be back. And we really can see who holds an advantage against which team, because each team won when the other team was lacking players. So I feel like a real test has not been shown for either team. So hopefully that's the next game. But yeah, until then, done.